Are you ready for a job that gets you more? UPS is hiring now. As a warehouse worker, you'll earn up to $21 per hour, and you might even be eligible for a program that helps you with thousands of dollars for college, in many cases tuition free. Search and apply now at upsjobsky.com.
Card Nation, this is attorney Alex White with SueDistractedDriver.com. Our law firm is a team of dedicated attorneys ready to fight for you. If you get injured because of someone else's negligence, their insurance company already has a legal team, and now so do you. If you or a friend or loved one are injured, find your attorney at SueDistractedDriver.com.
This is an advertisement.
You're listening to The Diener Show, presented by OPC Pest Services on ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Drew Diener.
That's right, it's me hanging out with you here on a Thursday, a game day. It's weird when you say Thursday is game day, but Thursday is game day, and there's plenty going on. We have Blankenbaker is on his way down there to Durham. They always call it Raleigh-Durham, but it was just Durham is North Carolina. So we'll see what Blankenbaker. Maybe we'll check in with him. I don't know if he made it all the way there last night, and I don't even know why he's going. I mean, God bless Blankenbaker, but of all the games to take a pass on, a Thursday night against Duke would be the number one pick on the draft board to pass. Would you not say, Process, like you're going to skip one? This is like numero uno.
Maybe EKU. If EKU was at EKU, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I know Richmond is significantly closer than Durham, but I'm still saying I'd rather drive, 8 hours to Durham than an hour and a half to Richmond.
8 hours. Driving 8 hours. Of course, my position on driving and Blankenbaker's position on driving could not be more opposed. Yes. Could not be different. Sorry, I'm trying to get levels straight here. So we got we'll do a number of things today. There's actually a lot going on. We have UofL soccer is getting ready to play in the NCAA tournament. We'll talk with their coach. The mayor reached out and wants to talk about all the soccer going on because we have you got the NWSL. We've been telling you all about that championship, which they, by the way, have sold like 9,400 tickets for already, which is fantastic. I would hate for us to have gotten an event like this and not performed well, but it sounds like the fans here have really are stepping up and are getting out, and I'm sure there's a ton of out-of-towners coming in for it. Be my guess, so we'll find out about that. But I think they've got 9,400 tickets sold. We'll have John Bowl. We'll have to get Blankenbaker on to make our picks. I'm on fire on our picks, by the way. 9 of my last 10. I think I'm like 6 games above 500 now or something.
Yeah, you're rolling. You're white hot on the picks. Me and Blankenbaker are not. It's been a bad year.
And, of course, here's the thing. I'm white hot on my picks, but if you look at my shady illegal gambling account, I'm down the last 2 weeks. If I could just limit myself to the games I pick on air, I'd be much better off.
I would agree, but I don't believe you can, so, I mean,
I don't think I can either.
Point.
Yeah. Why is that? This is why 95% of people lose money on gambling. That's literally the number. It should be... It seems to me it should be closer to 50-60% because it's just as hard to pick a loser as it is to pick a winner. But it's got to be all betting habits. I think it's not just picking the games; it's how you bet them. Do you bet them in parlays, which is me a fat no? Do I bet too many games? Yes.
Fat yes.
What's
Perrin
that?
Loves the parlay.
Yeah, and look, it's worked for Perrin. Perrin's hit a big parlay before. I've never hit. The math is simple for me. 8 possibilities in a 3-team parlay, you're losing 7 of them. You go, 4-team parlay. Doesn't seem that hard. 16 possibilities. You're losing 15 of them. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. But when you hit them, that's the problem. All it takes is hitting it once. It's like hitting that pick 5. I'm so bored last night, I'm betting a Mountaineer pick 5. I'm not even sure where Mountaineer is. And I hit the first leg of it. Yeah, and I hit the first leg of it, and I was excited. So for about 12 minutes till the next donkey ran out there and 8-5 favorite got beaten by some other donkey down the stretch. Boredom process, but with football, I don't know. It's not boredom. People just bet too many games, and their habits are.
And they talk themselves into it. I mean, it's easy to pick favorite every now and again, or think you have an edge on an underdog, and then it goes up in smoke, like me. Hence why I'm terrible at this.
It is amazing how much of your life you dedicate to researching the NFL, and can't bet it worth a damn like everybody else. I mean, you're no different than anybody else.
I tend to have
researching
horrendous luck at that. Yeah, no, I feel like I can't pick game to game, but long term, I'm usually not bad. That tends to be what I find.
Okay, so here's the experiment we will do next season. We will put in $200. I will put in $200.
Okay.
And be your investment partner in this, and we will bet 10 teams at $20 apiece over under win totals.
Okay.
Because that seems to be, according to you, your strength.
Well, last year with the Ravens and the Panthers, I said 11-5, 5-11, and nailed both of them.
Okay, well, I won't limit it to making 10 bets. There will be a $200 budget, and however you'd like to spread.
All right.
So I can already feel the pressure mounting in your body.
No, I got time. I got time to relax and research it and enjoy the draft, which is the only thing I seem to enjoy anymore football-wise. Because
it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, yes, that the draft is the only thing you enjoy football-wise.
Yes, the draft is, because the draft is hope. It sells me on hope, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll have to discuss at some point today in my neighborhood survivor pool. I'm still alive, and it's a 2-strike league, so I haven't had any strikes, and I don't know the update. I think a bunch of people got taken out last weekend, but I have yet to have a strike. So I've got options on the board that include tonight's game with the Patriots on the road at the Falcons, which I got burned on a road team on a Thursday night last week, so I'm leaning against that and leaning toward somebody that's a big favorite this weekend that I have not used.
Who's playing the Lions?
That's exactly who it is. Whoever's playing the Lions. That's exactly who it is.
That game was amazing.
Who is playing the Lions?
I don't know. I looked into this.
No, the Browns. No, I don't have the Browns. It's somebody else. It's the Titans. They're playing the Texans. The Titans are at home against the Texans.
Huh?
I'm taking the Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, if I lose on the 10-point underdog Texans team going into Tennessee and winning, fine. I'm willing to go down like that. That's easy for me. So we'll hit a number of things. Obviously, game day. Look, this is one today with Duke that if they're a 20-point favorite, in all likelihood, they're going to win this game. And I think the thing that people need to come to grips with is when they win this game, Scott Satterfield is your coach next year. Unless he decides to go somewhere else. And now you've got people trying to gin up those possibilities next year. And frankly, he should be the coach here next year if he wins this game. This is improvement. To get to 6 wins is an improvement. To get to a bowl is improvement. Is it fun right now? No, it's not fun. But sometimes the building process isn't always fun. Sometimes it's a lot of what ifs. Sometimes it's saying, well, we should be this or we could be this with another guy. But I'm here to say, and look, people know where I stand on Brom. I'd be all for it if the job were open and if the time, were right or whatever. But I think you have to be fair to people. And to be fair, now, did Scott Satterfield screw up last year? Oh, yeah. He totally botched the South Carolina job. And how you have a big-time agent lets you botch that. It speaks to how big of an agent he is with other people. Because I'd have fired my agent. If I'm sitting here making improvement and working my ever-loving butt off, and the fan base hates me for the most part. And the fan base hates you for the most part because your agent screwed you. I'd fire my agent. You want to get back in the graces of, Louisville fans? Get a new agent. I mean, that's what I would say to Scott Satterfield. I mean, do these guys even need agents? I guess they do.
Think so.
Well, I don't know. Jurich, and he's back in the news.
Yeah,
we'll see about
is.
this. Jurich famously said he would never deal with an agent. He'd not deal with agents. He dealt with head coaches. And it was one thing that Tom took the most pride in was knowing and making connections and being on the phone and knowing who's available, who might become available, and talking to those people directly, and did not deal with agents. When he went and dealt, with Pitino, went right to Pitino. Charlie Strong, God, if he ever writes a book about the story of going to Pitino's house and going to Charlie Strong's house to try to sell them, then it'd be worth your time because he's told the stories and it's phenomenal. I think like with Pitino, he spilled a whole bottle of wine or something on his clothes, and that was bad luck in the Italian culture. There was some every mistake he possibly could have made symbolically, but got through it. So I'm here to say that if Scott Satterfield wins tonight and becomes bowl eligible, he deserves to be your coach next year. And does it mean all of you are going to like it? Nope. Definitely not. Does it mean crowds will still be kind of what they are this year? Yeah, probably does. But I don't think you can look at this team and say it's not better than it was a year ago. And has it been fun? No, it sucks losing it first and goal from the 2. It sucks blowing a lead against Virginia. But sometimes that's what the building process takes and what it looks like. And it's not always fun. And it's not just, John L. Smith, year 1, man, where you go from 1 win to throwing the ball a million times a game, and he's hilarious, and everything's, on the up. And even when you lose, you had fun losing. We threw the ball around and threw it 60 times, and there's hope for the future. And, so this is not that. And, of course, this is not in the same conference as well. So I think the very difficult part will be, assuming Satterfield comes back, because I'm saying the only reason I would see him not coming back is by his own choice. To me, the tough part is how to evaluate next year, because it's got to look even better than this, and it's got to. And 7-5 next year will be about what 6-6 is this year. So I think people are smart enough next year to not count 7-5 as an improvement. Now, who's to say they're going to go 6-6? I mean, Kentucky ain't looking like world beaters, and Lord knows if you win tonight and then win a week from Saturday, the perception is entirely different. The perception is, you know what? Got to 7 wins, beat the arch rival. Damn it, we almost won some close games and didn't. But, I can live with it. And there's a lot to be excited about. There's certainly things to be excited about. Again, the next thing, find a quarterback. I know they've got a quarterback in this class. There's nothing anybody's getting too geeked about. Find an exciting
quarterback.
Thank you. Find an exciting quarterback that, Teddy Bridgewater was exciting. Teddy Bridgewater, people, when they won that bowl game, they were as excited about getting Teddy Bridgewater as they were winning the Beef O'Brady's Bowl. And it took a lot, believe me, to win the Beef O'Brady's Bowl, to get to a bowl that Charlie Strong did there. And that was a building process that was frankly, that was more fun than this, sure. But it's been a different kind of build. So we'll see what they do tonight. But I think for sure he's your coach next year for sure, if he wants to be, and provided that he doesn't have yet another wandering eye. And I know people have this fantasy about him going to Duke because he grew up there.
Which
although
is
if you heard him this
weird.
week,
it's so bizarre.
I mean, if you heard him this week, yeah, he went to Duke games, but he didn't watch the games when he went. It wasn't like he had this, draw to Duke, the history of Duke football. But family's there, I get that. But I talk about taking a step back. That would be taking a step back. But
yeah, I think that's a pretty bad look if he did that. He'll be here regardless, even if he has a wandering eye. And I've said it before plenty of times. The administration likes him significantly more than the fan base does, and they're the ones making the decision.
It matters.
I mean, Look, the fans, they make the decision, they buy the yeah, but who's really making the decisions? The administration. And the administration sees him as
Vince
the guy.
Tyra. Yeah. I mean, it's the administration. Sure, you're right. I mean, you're exactly right. It's Vince Tyra. I mean, he is, were he to lose tonight and just get the crap kicked out of him against Kentucky, okay, maybe we can have that conversation. But this is what building looks like. This is what it is. And this team was in shambles when Petrino left. Was there some talent there? Yeah, but you had to entirely rebuild the locker room. You had to entirely rebuild a culture. And he wins tonight. He's bowl eligible. He has earned the right to coach here next year, in my opinion. And I think it's a no-brainer.
He's generally got momentum. I mean, Sailor Brown's a big get
yes.
Considering he's a local guy and he's a 4-star. Those two things that we've all complained about as far as the recruiting goes. He has the chance to win maybe 3 games to end the season and go to some mediocre
God forbid.
crap
You want to talk about
momentum.
A 180. If they win against Kentucky, there's going to be people that have memory loss from what they were thinking a month ago. I mean, it's going to be like, did I say that? No, I didn't say that. No. Did I say? I mean, this is. So there's a lot. There's a lot that can change in the next 10 days. And believe me, Kentucky needs this damn win as much as Louisville does, because they went from, I don't know what's worse, losing close games like this, or Kentucky, where your hopes get so high and you have these amazing games and you think, my God, we're going to win the SEC. And then it just falls. And
they just feel ordinary.
They feel like a little above average, And for a while, it was looking where they were ranked in the college football playoffs. I mean, I guess if you ask me, it's more fun to have 2 sold-out crowds on night games and beat Florida and LSU.
Exactly. You could take that home with you. You can't take home some, I mean, look, U of L is always going to have that UCF game this year, but there was nothing quite as electric in Louisville as there was in Lexington as those 2 sold-out games like there were at Kroger Field.
And it's going to be an interesting dynamic in the Kentucky game because, I know there'll be a lot of Kentucky fans. Not as many that were claiming they were going to be there about 3 weeks ago, but you'll have that dynamic there. So we'll see tonight. I mean, I hope Satterfield. I mean, I hope they can go down there and just beat the holy hell out of them. Be one of those games at halftime where the announcers have nothing to talk about. Like they've already used all their material, and in the third quarter, I don't know, they're talking about Mike Krzyzewski,
right?
and how he gave his star player a 0-game suspension for aiding and abetting a DUI, which is still something I had never heard of.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out.
I still don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah,
and so we can deal with that, and then of course Tom Jurich is in the news. He's sort of in the news. Brett McMurphy has put him in the news, and I love Brett McMurphy. Brett McMurphy I got to know very well at the backslapping Big East media days of old, when you had the clam bake, when you were there for 4 days for the worst run media day. I mean, it was like an hour with one group and an hour with the next, and you were there 4 days, and there were golf tournaments and clam bake. Look, believe me, as a member of the media, it was great to go to the place you cannot get to, Newport, Rhode Island, and eat lobster. But it really wasn't a very functional media days. But McMurphy worked the room. And I watched how a reporter developed sources by watching McMurphy work the room. And he's amazing at what he does. And when he was when ESPN let him go, I'm like, do they not want informed, intelligent people on the air? Is that not what they want? But make no mistake about it, he is very tight with Tom Jurich when it comes to information. Every story McMurphy broke about Louisville came directly from Tom Jurich. 100% of them. Not through any SIDs, not through any other sources, directly from Tom. And, I mean, Tom, let's face it, Tom made connections with a lot of people, some in the media. Look, I mean, Pat Forty's the one that alerted Tom that, hey, Maryland's bailing out the ACC. You might want to, get on the phone, which he obviously already had been. But McMurphy is... my theory is with Tom's name coming up in connection with the Miami job, he's listed as, quote, one of a few candidates. And I guess they've got to move fast because, they got to fire Manny Diaz and they got to get a football coach before signing day. I mean, that's the thought process reading the Miami Herald down there. But I believe while McMurphy lists him as a candidate, this is McMurphy doing him a solid. This is McMurphy saying, okay, maybe Tom says I'm interested in it, I'm trying to get in the mix, and he throws his name around, and then somebody else in the Miami Herald picks it up and throws it around. I don't know. I can't imagine Tom's going to be retired forever, although he is pretty good at not stressing out about working too much. And I mean, he was a guy who took the summers off, and God bless him for doing it. Went to Colorado. There was nobody better at relaxation time and recharging the batteries than Tom. I find it hard to believe he's a serious candidate for this job. I don't know. You've got, and I'll get to a couple calls here in a second. You've got the 40 clip. Pat was on. I did not hear this yesterday. So this is 40 when Andy talked to him yesterday, what he thought about it.
It actually makes some sense to me. Miami has had a hard time finding a good football first AD who can make a good football hire, which is Tom Jurich. And while I believe Tom deserved to be fired at Louisville, I'm not sure it necessarily needed to be the end of his career. And if I'm Miami and looking for somebody to revive my football program that everything revolves around down there, I'd talk to him. I think that it could be a really good spot for Tom Jurich and a good hire for Miami.
It'd be interesting. Get him right back in the league. I'm a guy who's been out of it this long, not that he couldn't just jump right back in and doesn't have the connections I'm sure if he gets an interview, he will tell whoever he's interviewing with exactly who he's going to hire as a football coach. Not like a list of candidates. I'm going to go get this guy. I'm going to go get that guy. What's that?
Charlie Strong.
Boy, I don't know.
I don't think it's that crazy, honestly. I really don't.
No, I don't think it's crazy. But and maybe that would be a job that Charlie would thrive at because it's not the spotlight of a Texas. But Charlie didn't work in South Florida, right? I mean, Charlie
right
didn't work there. And I'm stunned at that. I thought that'd be a great landing spot for him. So, I don't know. I can't imagine Tom. I got to think he's got another act left in him. I just don't know if you're Miami if you want to do this. But if you're Miami, I mean, I sort of agree with Pat. It could make some sense. It's not like Miami's concerned about any. I mean, Tom really shouldn't be associated with much of the scandal here. I mean, although it happened on his watch. I mean, so I guess you could say, and you know what? He hired Petrino. I take that back. He hired Petrino the second time, so some of it can't be.
Look, you can make mistakes every now and again.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
But he's not related to the Adidas stuff in any way, form, or fashion. And by the way, Miami ain't exactly, the most scandal-free school in the history of the NCAA. But I don't think. Look, I think this is McMurphy doing him a solid. I have no knowledge on that. But that's my theory.
George is Jim Harbaugh, man, okay? It's going to be a fun ride for a few years, but that fall might end up being biblical. But at the same time, we might be able to get the U back. I think George can build the U back. I believe he can.
I just think if he, I'm just surprised he hasn't worked since he left here. That's the surprising thing. And, there are people that will tell you he tried to get in the mix at South Florida because, hell, he's right there anyway on his condo. And I think his condo's in Clearwater. So we'll see how serious of a candidate it is. So we can get into all that. We'll get your calls here. I'll open up the text line here as well. I've ignored that thoroughly here in the first segment. Let's go to Steve up first. Steve, welcome in Ninth Rain, the Bill ESPN 680.
Well, I think if he does get another year, I think Vince's butt is on the line as well. Because in your opinion, from what you know, and you know a lot more than we do you think the Louisville athletic department is hemorrhaging cash? I mean, that's another issue because they're going to have to put people on the seats next year. Even if he goes 7-5, I think that would be a lot. People are going to feel a lot better. But if he goes 6-6 or 5-7, I just don't know where the fans are going to come from for next year.
I don't think it's hemorrhaging cash. I mean, I think we've got to get a look at a budget in a non-COVID year. Last year obviously is going to be all out of whack, and there are people like, oh, the athletic budget went from 140 to 80 million. Like, well, yeah, it was a COVID year. I mean, it's not right. It's not a normal year. So, I think there's say what you want about Vince. I think fiscally he's been really responsible. So, I mean, I think you take a hit if you don't have, enthusiasm for everybody to buy season tickets and everything else. But, I mean, sometimes you have to take a hit to stick with something that you think is going to pay off long term. So, yeah, I don't know if Vince would be – I don't think he'd be on the line. The only way he's on the line is if Mack fails miserably and Satterfield fails miserably, I guess then. But, I don't know. And frankly, I still wonder how much Vince wants to work with this board of Neely Bendapudi. You hear a lot, there's a lot of friction there, but who knows? I mean, that's just rumors.
You guys followed up the other day when somebody was talking about U of L going to Japan to play, Tokyo.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but they played in the Tokyo Dome, and they had a great recruit that they had gotten who was playing on the team, offensive lineman. I forgot his name. He shoplifted over there and was sent home. He damn near caused a diplomatic incident. So he got caught stealing something, and they sent him home. So, but they played that game in the Tokyo Dome, and it was against Syracuse, and I forgot the final score, but anyway.
Yeah, no, I vaguely remembered that when they were mentioning that the other day.
Yeah. All right, Drew, thanks a lot, buddy.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. Text says Tom and Rick reunited, perhaps. Oh yeah,
yes.
We all know Rick loves his Miami.
The Don.
And, of course, what do we hope after that? We call down there at Miami basketball coach's office, Coach Hessen speaking. That's what we want to hear, right?
He was here yesterday.
He was in the house? Really? He's back in the country?
Yeah, he knocked on the door, and I'm like, what the F are you doing here?
This week we've had Magic Mike make an appearance.
Wait, what?
For his son.
I missed Magic Mike. He was here?
Yeah, he came. Yeah, it was a couple of days ago. I about fainted when I saw who was at the door.
Oh, man, I missed Magic Mike.
Future lawyer, Magic Mike.
Good, because I plan on getting sued a lot. So that's going to be helpful. But yeah, no, as far as you're right about Vince, except here's the thing. Satterfield and Mack are both not going to fail horribly. It's just going to get, especially Satterfield. He was never going to have that Petrino 2-win season. He's just going to sit there in middle for a while. And I think the only way he goes out is if fans get fed up enough to where they go 6-7 wins every year is just not cutting it, and I want to change. He's never going to bottom out.
I don't know. I just think this is what building, is as frustrating as the season's been at times, I still think this is what the building process looks like. And then maybe they start making some of these plays. And if they don't make the plays next year and the stuff's still happening again, then I think it's a different conversation. But I don't think if you say you're behind a coach that you hired and you had a great first year where you were coach of the year, a down second year, and then a third year in which you could win 6 games tonight, a 7th game against Kentucky, an 8th game in the bowl. I think it's way too early to say, let's just scrap everything and go get Jeff Brom, because that's what everybody's saying. I mean, I think you win 6 games, that's building.
Here's the thing: right, the Jeff Brom cloud will always loom. It'll never not loom. Oh, yeah. And I don't know how long.
Well, unless he is, at a bigger job, like I don't know, just pick an SEC school, the LSU job. I'm not saying he's getting the LSU job, but I mean something like that.
Yeah, I still even think then it would loom.
It could be. It could loom. You're right. It could loom. All right, we got a number of things to get into. We got a conference suspending radio announcers. Blank & Baker, watch your tongue for this story. So we'll talk about that here on the other side as we roll along. Hey, RGB Home Theaters, that's who totally changed my viewing experience in my living room. We watched Shang-Chi the other night. That's good.
Good.
Pretty good. The new Disney. Not great, but good. But the sound effects, but the sound effects with the Atmos speakers, unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And I tell you, it's the way the technology has evolved from not only the screen, but the audio just changes my viewing experience and our popcorn consumption around the house. So if you would like to check out, have a viewing experience, give RGB a call. Look them up online, rgbhometheaters.com. Red, green, blue, rgbhometheaters.com. And tell me here to talk about them here in the Diener Show.
It's my
You're listening to The Diener Show, presented by OPC Pest Services on ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Drew Diener.
And we are back here, 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680. We'll have you all covered tonight with our Miller Lite pre- and post-game coverage for you here this evening as the Cards take on Duke. That'll be 7:30. I think we got the kickoff on that one. This one should be simple, right? I assume this is a simple ESPN broadcast. I was just let's see, pull that up.
Yeah,
tonight.
both on 93.9. The in and out or pre and
that's
post.
Right, yes, and then we'll have it is on ESPN. Yes, and we'll have of course at the Thursday night game. Again, a game I'm pondering in my neighborhood survivor pool. Not nearly the stakes of the other one I was in, but still a nice pot. That'll be Patriots at Falcons. That'll be on ESPN 680. So we'll get to you if you want to hop in. 267-9680 is the number to get in. You can text away to the UPS Jobs text line at 437-9680. Now, do we play the Crean sound now, or because we have about 10 minutes to deal with that, or do we? I
will leave it up to you.
Maybe in the 8 o'clock. Gosh, let's see. Well, I think we do that. I think we do that in the 8 o'clock hour.
Okay.
I think we do that, and then because I kind of want to get John Bowles' reaction to that.
Yes, to hard-hitting journalist.
Yes.
C. Jack Grossman.
Crean, now a capital J journalist, and is a peer, frankly, of John Bowl. Would you not say after that they are peers now?
I tend to agree. I mean, the fact that this story is getting picked up by various outlets is amazing. It's the best. I didn't hear about it. Andy was like, "You bum, you don't know the story about it." And I'm like, because they apparently talked about it on his show, the night before going to the UK game. Please do not drink out of your coffee mug with 2 hands. You're a grown man.
2 hands. You're right.
Don't do
you're
that.
You're right. Sorry.
Anyway.
You're right.
Don't do that.
As soon as I did. Thank you for
I had this conversation with my friend on Monday that a man should never drink out of a coffee mug with 2 hands. It's a stupid conversation, but it is what it is.
And
anyway.
as I did that, I felt like it was the first time I've ever done that, and I'm glad you noticed that and called me out on that.
Yes.
That's unacceptable. Drinking, out of just you don't drink a coffee with 2 hands.
No. All right. So anyway, so they basically more or less said, "All right, Jack, you're going up to cover UK and versus the Sisters of the Poor. You should ask this question about IU. We'll give you $200 or so." So he goes up there.
I mean, that's a big number, $200. I mean, and it wasn't. This is not like doing something entirely unprofessional, right? I mean, Crean hosts a post-game show.
Yeah,
I mean,
it makes sense.
It's capital J journalism.
I said yesterday, I'm like, Crean, you rendered the man with everything to say speechless. You can take that to your grave.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have not heard the sound, right?
Everywhere. I have not. And
okay,
people wonder, well, hell, what did he ask him?
Yeah.
He asked him about playing the IU series, and so and it's Crean, and I can only imagine his voice. So we'll tease this, we'll play this, but the answer got picked up like who all picked it up, like the Indy Star, like all these other people did, right?
Indy Star, a major rival radio station. I went through and I flipped through when I did my prep for my Sports Center. A couple of IU sites were like. They asked about the IU series with Coach Cal, and even that was on there. I'm like, I've seen several sources or several different publications talk about Crean's out of nowhere last question with Coach Cal, because it was the last question. Like, part of me wonders if Coach Cal was actually wanting to leave, or if he was just like, you know what, we're too off the rails. I can't recover from this. I'm just going to go. Because Cal loves the mic. 14 minutes is usually not enough for him.
So does Crean. Cal and Crean have that in common. They love the mic.
By the end of this, I hope they're best friends. The thing is, they're trying to figure out how to up the ante for this now for another question. I don't know and when you can.
Yeah, and I don't think we want to be the buffoons that are like, all right, I don't want to make Crean our little toy. Hey, wind Crean up and make him ask a question. I don't know. I'm getting all kinds of texts about the two-hand coffee. Sorry, people. Won't happen again. And Process was right to call me out on that. I mean, what about hot cocoa? Can you drink it on a cold day? Can you grab your two hands around a hot cocoa and go, this warms me up, warms my soul?
First off, never, ever say that again. Secondly, here's what you do. You can put two hands on a mug to warm your hands, but you cannot drink with two hands. Like, you could just
Yeah.
That there's a distinction, a very specific distinction. Did you like how I managed to pick up on you doing that mid-sentence?
Yes, mid-sentence went right to it. Yes, that's your radio Jedi training is almost complete.
Good. I just can't sell.
You just have to slay Andy Sweeney, and you will be a Jedi. I don't know.
I explained to the intern yesterday because he was confused about the Korean question, and I'm like. I explained to him all the reasons why it was so brilliant, because it's so simple and yet it's hilarious and it's meta, and I'm just like, you have to understand it's a genius move because it's so much content.
Well, and it's newsworthy.
It is newsworthy.
I mean, it's legitimately newsworthy.
It's amazing.
It's an odd time to ask it. Yes, very odd time to ask it, but legitimately newsworthy. No question about it.
Yeah, I mean, Jack got two legitimate questions. He had one about Severe Wheeler, and then he had his own. So he asked a real question in his defense.
Getting two questions in amongst the UK media and a Cal postgame, that's a lot,
He's bullish.
Yeah, that's a lot. Oh, that's great. We'll get we got a couple things going on here this morning. We'll talk as UofL soccer gets ready to take the field in the NCAA tournament. We'll get the NWSL that we've been telling you about, the championship, the women's championship on Saturday at Lynn Stadium. So we've got that. Bellarmine last night, man, had a lead with 5 minutes to go out west. Couldn't hold on. But still a good showing for Scotty D's bunch out there. So they I saw the video where they took the lead with 5.5 minutes to go, something like that. Couldn't quite pull it off, but hey, we'll see how they hold up on this West Coast swing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that Scotty D's the mad scientist, because Dan Issel yesterday was going pretty heavily after UK and Cal playing nobody in their non-con or early on in the season, and meanwhile you got Scotty D who's like, I will take on all comers. I am willing to play. Anybody that is willing to come at me.
If the price is right, I will take on all comers. And that's what these things are. They're out there earning that money for Bellarmine.
Yes.
Out there, out west.
He fears no man, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and again, doesn't fear the dollar signs either. So, good for him, man. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So, we'll have John Bowl on about 8:30. And, we'll play the Crean question right before that. I think that would be the perfect timing to do that since they are now, peers.
Yes, I am very excited to see John Bowles' reaction to Jack Grossman being a capital J journo. God, if anybody was going to do it, you knew it was either going to be Patty Ice or Crean. And part of me is happier that it's Crean because I think Patty Ice would have been like, yes, I truly am a
journalist. It might have been combative if Patty Ice asked it. He might have been like, oh, yeah, Cal? Oh, yeah? I could see that escalating.
Yes, I do
with the
too.
Intensity of one Patty Ice.
I think Crean was just excited.
Yes, of course he was. He's always excited. So I love Crean.
Exactly. Giggles. When he went to the my friends have been clamoring for Crean to go back to the cigar bar. They're like, when is that guy coming back? He's hilarious.
Oh, really? So he was a star
Crean.
there, huh?
Oh, they like Crean. They thought Crean was great.
Oh, well, what's holding him back? We're working 75
busy.
hours here? Or what?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you got the open invite, Jack. You can come on Monday. My friend thinks my friends all find you hilarious. So, yeah, he has the open invite.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's grab Coach Hayden here if we can. Again, with U of L getting ready to take the field, the pitch in the NCAA tournament coming up here. So we've got that. Again, tonight we've got you covered right before and right after Louisville Duke, our Miller Lite pre- and post-game show, a big one tonight. I mean, it's a big one in the sense that, we don't expect it to be a close game. I mean, hopefully not. But it does get them to bowl eligibility. And we don't, just nowhere cold, please. ACC, help us out. Nowhere cold for that. So we'll find out. But again, I think if you're Louisville, we're probably to the point we should be complaining about which bowl they go to. But we'll see here where the possibilities end up being. It'll be worth. We really haven't speculated on it that much this year because I don't know. There's been so many other things to break down. But going to a bowl would be nice, and it would we haven't figured out where it'll be. So, but tonight. You've got the NCAA tournament kicking off for Louisville men's soccer. So do we have Coach Hayden? Or we do. Okay, sorry.
I flashed you the thumb. Didn't you see me?
Sorry. Well, I'm doing the laptop thing, and so it covered the screen up. So sorry about that, Crean. But yes, we do have.
Whoa! Sorry about that. Who?
Crean's. I've got Crean on my mind.
Okay.
Sorry, Crean's a star. Sorry, process. Crean now is a star after what he did yesterday. He's dominating everybody's thought process. So let me reset the thank you process for getting Coach John Michael Hayden on the line for U of L as they got the NCAA tournament opening up, home match tonight at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. So, Coach Hayden, welcome in. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, tell us about tonight. You guys get to go in the NCAA tournament, having this at home. It'll be on ACC Network Extra, but I know, hopefully getting some fans out there. We got accustomed to coming out over the years in cold weather and watching Louisville soccer win some games.
Yeah, absolutely. This time of year when it's cold and you're playing, it's always a good thing. So we're excited to have the match at home against a good Bowling Green team, and our guys are ready. So it should be a good time tonight.
People are probably learning a lot about the team for the first time this year. How has the season gone? What has enabled you guys to be able to earn the right to host a home game?
Yeah, we went 10-6-1 overall in the regular season. We won the ACC Atlantic Division title, so we have a trophy in our office from the rest of the season, obviously, which is great. And then our resume was good enough. We had some top 50 wins that allowed us to get selection into the NCAA tournament and obviously host. So we have a young team. That's the other thing about us. We have you have 11 players on the field at a time. We have 8 freshmen that start the match. So we're very young, which is healthy for the future. But these guys are hungry right now, which is great.
8 freshmen to start. Have you ever had that in your career before?
I can't say I have. So. But it's a good thing, I think. I think they don't know necessarily what the NCAA tournament is, and sometimes you come into it with a little fear and things like that. They're just eager to play. So I think it bodes well for this evening.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you must have played a hellacious schedule to be 10-6-1 and be able to host. I mean, because normally that doesn't sound like a record that would be hosting an NCAA tournament game, but clearly you guys have played a hellacious schedule.
Yeah. There was 9 teams that made it to the NCAA tournament out of our regular season schedule. So kind of tells you the strength of our schedule, who we were playing, and what they're capable of. So, again, that's just you schedule that way so it prepares you for matches like this.
It's interesting. We're sitting, hitting in November, and there's all kinds of soccer going on. I mean, you got Lou City in the middle of their playoffs. They've got you guys. You've got the NWSL. I mean, if you're into soccer in Louisville, it's a pretty solid week around here.
Yeah, we say Soccer City. I mean, it's there's a lot of stuff going on. Which is great. I mean, it's healthy for us. I mean, Lou City doing well, obviously, the racing doing well. It's the name Louisville is out in the in the nation, and then also globally, really, because there's an attraction to being here. We recruit. You look at our roster. I can't tell you exactly off the top of my head how many internationals we have, but there's an attraction to being here in the city, and I certainly think that helps with all the soccer that we have going on.
To take us from here, if you guys win tonight, can you host again, or how does it work from here?
Unfortunately, we would have to travel to my alma mater, which is Indiana. So they have the home game for us, so they're in waiting right now. So we play them at their place, and that would be on Sunday.
It'd be on Sunday. Okay, that was my next question. So you've got Bowling Green here tonight. Again, we've seen, it's got to be different. Every sport's been different this year, where you had essentially a year off from fans, and now you've got everybody back. What's it been like this year? Like, what did you realize you kind of missed having a year off from fans now that you've had them back?
Yeah, I mean, fans are extremely important. Obviously, the local community and then the general student body, just being able to get out, support our guys anytime we score goals. I mean, the way we play is an attractive brand. We led the country in scoring at one point, which is exciting, and it's the way we want to play. Is we want to put the ball in the back of the net, and I know our guys, when we score, we go celebrate with the fans. So just having a home base, a home fan, a home feel is so important for how we want to play. We feed off of that energy.
And, of course, tickets are available for this one. I mean, do they just go to the box office? Do they get them online? Are they digital tickets? How do people go about getting tickets for this?
Yeah, there's two ways. Obviously, you can do it online, and then there is the box office. So there's a link for it. I mean, you can go on our website and find it. Very easy to purchase a ticket. And, you can have walk-ups as well.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you tonight. Hopefully you are going against your alma mater this weekend, but it'll be 6:30 tonight over at Dr. Mark and Cindy. I got to get my Lynn Stadiums right. It's Lynn Family Stadium for Lou City and Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium.
Yep. Yeah, it should be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully everybody can come out and support us.
Well, Coach, best of luck, and hopefully we get a big crowd. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
There you go. It's Coach John Michael Hayden. He's, of course, the coach at U of L, and they are taking on Bowling Green tonight with the winner. That'll be on ACC Network Plus, so basically the ESPN Plus app ought to be able to take care of you on that. And we'll, see how they.
It's not an RSN, man.
That's exactly right. It's the thing. It's easier to find Louisville soccer than it is Louisville football. It is sometimes, at least on the stream. At least on the stream, it is. Again, that'll be 6:30 tonight at Dr. Mark. It's Dr. Lynn doing well, having two stadiums named after him for soccer. And he's a tennis guy. That's the funny thing. Dr. Lynn, I mean, now he's a soccer guy, but he's a tennis guy at heart.
I mean, I drive into work every day, and I see Lynn Stadium stuff all over the place. I see it to my right, to my left. It's all over.
Yeah, absolutely. And there'll be a lot of fans this weekend at the NWSL game. Okay, so we got plenty here still to get to this morning. We'll have John Bowl. I guess we'll have Blankenbaker call in and do his picks. We'll do our pick segment at 9:30.
Which is just a crapshoot at this point if you're me or Mark.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You guys can rally. I mean, you got to try to keep pace. Odds are I'm going to fail this week since I've gone 9-1 in my last 10. I would fade all my picks this week. Hey, ADS Security, that's who I have in my house. That's who we have at the radio station, and that's who's going to give you 90 days free when you mention us at ESPN Louisville. ADS Security I've had for over 10 years in my house, formerly Mid-America Security, 452-6277, online, adssecurity.com. And you call that number, by the way, the person who answers the phone is going to, they can help you with tech support, they can help you with sales, they can help. I mean, it's not like, let me transfer you to this. They don't need a menu. The person answering the phone can tell you everything you need to know. It's ADS Security, online, adssecurity.com. And let them know you heard us talking about him here in the Diener Show.
Are you ready for a job that gets you more? UPS is hiring now. As a warehouse worker, you'll earn up to $21 per hour, and you might even be eligible for a program that helps you with thousands of dollars for college, in many cases tuition free. Search and apply now at upsjobsky.com.
Card Nation, this is attorney Alex White with SueDistractedDriver.com. Our law firm is a team of dedicated attorneys ready to fight for you. If you get injured because of someone else's negligence, their insurance company already has a legal team, and now so do you. If you or a friend or loved one are injured, find your attorney at SueDistractedDriver.com.
This is an advertisement.